All right, babies. Hey, yeah, let's get into it today. You know it. It's Cartooning Monday here at my studio. Hi, it's me, your party artist, Kim Overholt. And here I am at my studio, Overholt Art and Entertainment Studio. And hey, we're here to entertain. That's right, babies. And I'm your host as well. Host, my name's Kim Overholt, and I'm here to help you have fun, learn a little bit about art. And you've never drawn before, this is a great way to start off. I give you a little bit of spiel about how it goes, give you a little bit of insight, and then get you to do it on your own and tell you, go for it. Just go. There's nothing that I can't do that you can't do. We're all artists. We're all budding artists. We're all learning artists. We're all growing artists. We're all getting better as we get older, right? Well, some of us get better. Some of us just get weirder, but that's okay. That's okay. That's what happens sometimes. And hey, there's reasons for everything. But welcome to Monday again. Yes, it's Monday, and Inktober is going to be wrapping up this week. So Thursday is our last day for doing all the Inktober's, and I hope you've enjoyed it. It was great doing the whole thing and sharing it with you, and I hope you are doing it with me, or I hope you've been doing it as well, or trying it, or thinking about it, or watching what I do, and see if it may be something that you might want to try in the future. Okay, so every day I did a picture, and I showed you the beginning. We went through all the whole process almost every time that I was here. I showed you a little bit that I did of, yes, I started decorating the book too. I can't help it. When I see anything that's blank, I got to start decorating. So I made it look kind of like a little book with a lock on it. Okay, kind of like my if inside there's the Vampire Diaries. It's almost like that. It's got a lock on it, so it's really special. You got to keep it locked and contained when not in use. Yes. So, and I stole this from Ryan Lee. This is obviously Inktober 2024. It's been a fun time doing it, and I've enjoyed doing it. I really have loved showing you guys my artistic process while I'm going through the whole thing. And I learned a lot. And I learned how I always learn more as I go of what I'm capable of when I start doing these things. So this time I usually kind of just went for it, but this time I actually went with a theme that had to do with mythological. And towards the end, I'm kind of like, it's kind of hard to kind of get things to kind of the way you want them to be. But, it turned out pretty good. I color some of them in, like I'll show you the ones that I did color in. Let's see. There's this one. The first one, which is backpack Cthulhu, which is like it's some kind of like tentacled creature inside of a bag. Yeah, you don't know what happened. What happened to the person that owned the bag? There's the question, right? Okay, that's one of my faves, of course. Doing something very robust, like an actual mer creature, is like, wow, that's something else. I thought that was a great idea with the silver-toed werewolf boots. I thought that that's a lot of fun. Um, I really would do a lot more work with this the Kraken one, because it really does need a little bit more like jewels, and it kind of look a little bit more mysterious. It's supposed to be exotic, but I need a little bit to do a little bit more work on that. I'm thinking, yeah. That's one was I wasn't sure about. And then it was the Vampire Bride with the binoculars kind of spotted you, and now is like thinking about taking a bite out of you. I like that one too. That one was kind of fun to do. It's like trying to think of new ideas for old um, what other artists have done. Okay, so Labyrinth 2, Jareth's Journey, or Jareth's Trek, because it's Trek. I went for a nice walk. You'll find a theme going on with the Inktober this year, which has a lot of people going on camping, hiking, and it's like, why a passport? Like, what, are you going somewhere? What, you think we're all going somewhere? No, I don't know about you, but I'm sticking around here. So every day I would do one, and of course, keeping it simple. Another little trek of a little mummy going on a little bit of a hike. Baby mummy hike. Baby mummy. And that would be a sun banshee, the screaming sunlight. I'm going to color that one in soon too. There's other ones that I did color in. my Cyclops, wandering Cyclops. And yeah, see a lot of wandering going on. A loose monster, Cookie. Hey, Cookie. Yeah. And of course, Chupacabra, out in the desert somewhere. I can't wait to color this one in. It'll be fun to do. Okay. And of course, my Minotaur and the Horizon. I did a picture once called Horizon, and it had like a warrior on it, and he was posing with a sword, almost the same kind of body, but different head, totally different head, totally different head, man. Dude, do you know about that totally different head? Well, and then there's the ghostly apparition floating through, wandering the hallways of an ancient castle. Yes. Anybody seen ghosts? I haven't seen ghosts. That Halloween's coming, so of course October, Inktober, Halloween. Yeah, there's always you can dress up as the Yeti if you wanted to, which is like this hairy creature. There's supposed to be a hairy creature that was released from a machine over in Montauk, New York. I wonder if they ever found out what was going on with that, by the way. And of course, there's always Jareth. No, sorry. Jerry Lane from World War Z. And if he became a zombie, this is what he would look like. It's grungy. He looks grungy. He looks pretty grungy. What do you think? Does he look pretty grungy to you? Yeah, he looks pretty grungy. Okay. Switch to the page. All right. Then, of course, there's the Vampire Diaries. Yes. The journals that I did of all the vampires that I think that, existed at one time or another. Oh, and there's the other one I colored in. Yes, is my sea serpent. It's called Drive, my sea serpent. Drive, drive, my sea serpent. Hey, Gary, good morning. Yes, hi. It is Cartooning Monday where I'm showing you the last of what's going on with my Inktobers. Okay, and this one's Ridge Harpy. I loved how the wings turned out. That's better than I could have expected. Sometimes I do stuff and I wow myself. I'm like, whoa, did I actually do that? That surprises me sometimes. I do. I surprise myself sometimes. People go, wow, yeah, how do you do that? You do. I'm like, I'm lucky. I think that maybe I get lucky sometimes. I'm like, this is Uncharted demon. I've never seen that demon before. No, nobody has. It's Uncharted. Hold on. All right. And tally ho, my fine steed. Oh, wait a minute. It's like he's like, go. The rhinoceros the rhinoceros doesn't go. He poops. He poops. He poops. He poops. He poops. He bangs. And then, of course, they thought it was a cute little gimmick until, yes, the alien abductee camp, where you get taken away for a little while, or maybe a long time. Who knows? All depends on what they want to do with you. Wow. Yeah. Kim's got some wacky ideas. I don't know where she gets them. It's just all of a sudden she goes, yeah, this is the music box with a monkey from Phantom of the Opera. It's all rusted up and it's not work. It doesn't work anymore. But I did I can't wait to color this one in. This one's really like one of my favorites. I saw the Phantom of the Opera. It was fantastic. So I know this monkey. I know that monkey. I don't think its name is Picky, though, unfortunately. And of course, those of you who are Monty Python fans, I did the one scene with Death taking the expedition of people to the other side, kind of thing. It's like, I didn't even need the salmon mousse. Wait a minute. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was trying to how can I describe that? Because there's one part where there's an expedition where they're all they get out of the house and they're walking towards the cars. It's like, you're not you're taking your cars. Oh, okay, whatever. It's just Death. As long as you're coming along. You're coming along with us. The cars can die too. All right, so there's my scarecrow. It's actually a scarecrow shapeshifter. So, it goes back to a normal person during the course of the day, but at night it becomes a weird scarecrow. A shapeshifter, yeah. I'm going to close that one in too. That one will be a fun to color in. And now introducing the Hydra camera. If people don't know what they are, but actually you've seen it in some videos, maybe in some radar, where there's some weird camera that's floating around at strange scenes and going, What is that thing? That's the Hydra camera. It has many eyes, and it all attaches to one main person. Ooh, I wonder who that person is. Nobody knows. That's the thing. Okay, so for $24.99, you can get your own and have it floating through. It not only floats on air, but it also goes underwater. It's waterproof, so it goes in the water, on the air. It has multi-lens technology, advanced stitching for a low life mastery. Oh, this is the camera. Oh, to end all cameras. This is like the orb. We call it the orb, but the Hydra camera is what it's because it goes underwater and has many eyes. Ooh, it's a little odd. Okay, so next one was road, and so I drew a nice road going into the distance. I kind of made it go a little bit further, as you can see. It extends into the distance there, and yeah, it's the road. It's that road that less traveled, made it more worth your while, that kind of thing, that Robert Frost thing going on. I love that kind of stuff, yeah. And with the fall, you know what? I might color this one in too with make some nice colors of fall going through there. And you can kind of see the light coming through the trees here, coming down through the trees. It's like a little escape kind of thing. I love the picture of what I had in mind. It turned out better than I expected. And today is day 28. And I think today's the 28th, and I did it already. It's called Jumbo Weir Witch, and I decided to go with go with somebody that one person that used to kind of like just wanted to pick a fight with you all the time and get you going and stuff like that. It's like you didn't want them to, but there they were. They were like ready to jump on you and stuff. That's the Weir Witch, and this is the I call it the Jumbo Weir Witch because she's coming right at you. She's in your face, and she's like, yeah, come on, you want, yeah, right here, come on, I'm a chin, come on, I dare you. Did you ever have those days? I had those days. Yeah, she was a Jumbo Weir Witch. She looked just like that. No, she didn't look like that. But there was always those kids at school that used to pick on you, always come up to you. I'm gonna beat you up after school. It's like, yeah, okay, thanks. I don't know what I did. I just happened to be a cute little kid that's just minding my own business, but that's what happens. So yeah, that was the one for today. That's a sneak preview because I haven't posted it yet. But yes, this is the one for the day. I made it yesterday because I was thinking, you know what, it'd be kind of neat to make a jumbo, like somebody who's being a jumbo pain in your ass, right? That'd be quite frank. And I know Frank, so yeah, he's like, yeah, that's okay. That's kind of cool. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, Jumbo, Weir Witch. She just 1 minute she's normal, and the next minute she's like, "Rah!" Okay, all right, well, okay, yeah. We all know one. Unfortunately, you know what? I look at this and it kind of reminds me, and I don't mean if she's watching, I'm so sorry, Tamara Leash from the one from the convoy. It kind of looks like her, but it's not her. I swear, it's not Tamara. Although she looks like she probably could make that face if she got angry enough that she'd be like, give you what for. Anywho, neither here nor there. Look at it. 29 is still empty. That's tomorrow. An empty page. I had to fill it up. 30 will be violin. There'll be a violin on this page tomorrow. Or what would be this one? This one is navigator. So I'm thinking of making maybe a picture of some kind of a portrait of some kind of captain of some kind of ship or something. Ooh, maybe the ship of the Black Pearl or something. There's something to think about. Do Johnny Depp or something. Ooh, do Johnny Depp. Whoa. Whoa, would I? Okay, so, and violin, of course. Yeah, and he's like the local bike too. Everybody's had a ride, right? Okay, and last but not least, the final day will be coming on Thursday, which is actually like on Halloween. The last day will be landmark. So I guess landmark is like the finishing spot. So I got to think of something cool to do. Now it wants me to do a hellhound, as a landmark. But I'm thinking I might switch that up because it's a little bit too on the harsh side. And my other one was the road. The road is actually like a snaky, winding road. That's why it's called the. Let me go check. The road. It's actually called, yeah. It's like a snaky, windy road. So that's the. And as you can see, there's been lots of themes already in Inktober where it mentions like traveling and roads and stuff like that. So I mean, making another road is like just making another road. Yeah, so that was good. That was fun to do. I enjoy doing that. And I get ideas usually from pictures, and then I try to just incorporate them and make my own. Keep in mind, I always keep in mind when I'm doing pictures. Okay, this is probably something that I would tell everybody: shadow and light. Okay, this is one other thing that I would say if you wanted to get real, a little bit more realistic with your pictures. Always keep in mind your shadows and where your light sources are coming from. So obviously, I mean, the sun's coming down, it's coming through the trees. You can see like a little bit through here, a little bit through. Most of this forest is dark, except for like a few little bits of light coming through in certain spots. So this place is mostly dark. So it's going to be, of course, a little bit more. You can kind of see going into the distance kind of thing where it's more prominent and you can see more of the bark detail here. As you go back, you see less detail kind of thing too. That's the other thing that I always try to keep in mind: light source, detail, like how much detail as you see things that are close up, like these bushes here. If I color it in, I will color these like a very bright color, just so that you can see that these are the front, the very front. And as I go back, the more muted colors will go back to the back. So little bit of tidbits of little information of how to do cartooning and just pen and ink and what I keep in mind when I'm doing it too. I start with pencil. I do. Everything starts with pencil, just for a rough idea, and then I pen it in, and then I hope, oh God, that everything kind of turns out. It's like one of those things where practice makes perfect. This is a great way to start for sure. I mean, Inktober has been a great help for me. Every year I seem to be learning more and more and gaining more information. So I've always found doing Inktober a lot of fun. And I hope you enjoyed it too. I hope you've enjoyed looking at all the silly cartoons and just kind of realistic looking pictures, kind of like the not realistic, the more the cartoony style. I run the whole gamut. So not only realistic, I do, like I say, caricatures. I do, man, I mean, as you can see by just for the cartooning that I do, it's all about just, lines and getting good at your lines is always very important too. And what I mean by that is something that I was taught when I went to school. So I was working on making a face the other day. So I just kind of enhanced it so you can see that I just kind of erased some of the lines and fixed some of the other things, like the ears could be a little bit smaller, that kind of thing, a little more closer to the head and a little bit more. Yeah. So there's an idea for how to make a face and how to draw a nose from the front, at least. Drawing a nose from the side is a whole different thing, of course. And just showing you basic drawing is what I'm here to do for you today. So I'm going to show you a little basic drawing here, just how to even just start doing your own cartooning. So it all begins with practice, lots and lots of practice. And practice makes perfect, as you well know. All right, so I got my handy dandy pencil here, and I'm gonna show you how, like I showed you how to do that nose at the front there. So it's kind of like you make the shape where the nose is gonna be, and you kind of put it in there. Now, there's sometimes where you have to draw a profile of somebody, which means like not front, but you're doing like a sideways pose. So you have to kind of draw their. Uh, so kind of like that. You have to do like a. Oh, I should show you with pen a little bit more thicker, but first I'll do like a rough. So make sure I get this correctly. Make sure I do a correct profile first. Because sometimes I even make mistakes doing it because there's this way of doing it, which way you just draw it. Whereas I sometimes can get it in the first try. But if you want to do a proper profile, that's just like what we should be doing is I should be showing you with my circle ideas because I always say, let me go back to the beginning. Okay, let me go back to the beginning. I'll erase this. My handy dandy eraser. It used to be Luna Sparkles that I had her as made a bit to a thing now. Now she's turned back into a big lump of eraser. So, but I'm still working on Luna Sparkles too. But I'm going to show you how to make a sideways space if you're looking to make a nose. Okay, I know how to. I just draw it because I can. I've done it so often I can draw it. But I'll show you if you've never done it before, if making a side view. So you make your circle like I did on the previous page. And we started doing that one just to show how you make a face. Nose frontwards. And then you do nose sideways. It's a little bit different. So you start with a circle and you think of, okay, make where the jaw is going to be. So imagine like the jaw. So you make it's more of an oval shape, right? Okay, so we erase the lines that you don't need. So you're going to, there you go. So you erase the jaw. Now, some people, I've been watching this one guy called Prokov, and if you ever want to watch some and get some ideas from him, you're more than welcome to. Prokov, he does this thing where he kind of has he puts like a circle in the center, kind of thing, and then he kind of makes it seem like I forget how he does it. Because he has a different idea from me from the way I do. But he's better at perspective than I am. So if you ever want to know a little bit better about perspective, his name's Prokov. I can't think. You'd have to look him up on YouTube because I can't think of his. I think his name's Nick. I can't remember. Anyways, so you do kind of like I was doing earlier with showing you have it. So that's where your eyes would be. So you have to keep in mind like that would be all head here, and then the nose would kind of be coming from here to here. In the middle there is where the nose would be, and it works that way too. Where you can go like this, so you know this is where your eyes are. This is what goes there, and if you want to make it sideways, you have to make sure that you keep in mind that, and then having the nose coming kind of out that way. Oh, sorry, a little bit lower. A little bit lower. Sorry. So let's go down here. And then you would erase this line here because the eye would be going right into there. Okay, so kind of nose would be going like that. So and the nose is like almost in the shape of a triangle. It's like a triangle shape there. It's like at one side of the triangle. Make the one side and you can kind of round it out. And then from here to here is where the mouth would be, of course. So you could draw the mouth in there. Make the line where the mouth would be. And kind of like think of what the lips would look like, kind of. And then the chin. So moving it from the front to the side, you would kind of eliminate some of the things. But keep in mind, okay, so there's the side of your head there. So that's where I think that's where he puts his circle, because right there and then right here is where the ear would be, kind of like here. Like that. But yeah. Actually, if you think about it, the ear would be right about there. And there you go. So there's a side view of a person if you wanted to try and do a side view. Now, hair, of course, you do your hair as, think of the side, sideburns and where the hair comes out, kind of thing like that. So you can kind of get rid of all this hair. Unless you want them bald, of course. You're going to use a erase all your lines. And you can make more hair kind of come this way. There we go. And then you can draw the eyes, nose. Mouth there, kind of like that. You build on it, you work on it. Blowout perspective. Wow. Yeah, I guess you could. I could, yeah. When you go to get different shapes and stuff like that, if you want to know how to do it from different angles, I had to say one of my biggest problems that I do have is with perspective. It has to do with my eyes. Unfortunately, I have this problem with my eyes. Um, Being that I can't see far away without my glasses on, what happens is that perspective kind of where things are sharp and far away or far away and they get a little bit blurry to where they're supposed to get closer, and as you get closer they get a little more sharper. I don't have that. It's always sharp there and sharp here, and I think there's that difference, and sometimes that's where I get a little bit kind of I draw it out, but it doesn't look right to me, and for some reason. So I mean, but there you go. There's a little bit of an idea of how how I usually do. Yeah, if you're looking for doing it for more perspective, like changing this the if you're doing it from like a three-dimensional, yeah, you got to keep a lot in mind. Yeah, this is cartooning Monday, so it might be a little bit more for people to understand. It might be a little more advanced, but yeah, I get what you're saying too. Because yeah, if you're drawing, say, Spider-Man or something, you want to make sure that you got the side view of Spider-Man. But what if he's not at that view? What if you're looking down at him? So you'd have to think about perspective. Oh my gosh, perspective. Yes, perspective is for another day. And you know what? That's a good one to do though. I have to really, because there's a lot of people out there too who really want to get into doing comic books, and comic books are really kind of more three-dimensional, and you have to kind of keep that in mind. Simple cartoons, 2D cartoons, you can do whatever, make them very straightforward and animated. When it comes to doing something dramatic um, like Spider-Man or Superman, where they're doing the dynamic poses where you see their hands way over here and their heads way back like this, and you got to see, that dimension of like that the fist over here is like a lot smaller than the one that's like right at your face. So you're going to kind of see that difference when you're drawing it too. So it may look awkward, you might like, oh, that's that you're, but they're supposed to be the same, but when you change the direction, of course, one becomes bigger than the other. And yeah, so there's keeping all that in mind. Yeah, there's a lot. Like this is just the very base, just to get you learning to draw the whole. Like there, everything's kind of. Oh, and I lose track of the word. The proportional, yeah, everything's kind of like in a special proportion. But when it comes to when you start doing 2D and 3D dimensional, you start to add a little bit more shape to them, of course. Oh yeah, I got it's a little bit more in depth, and I wish I had a little bit more time to be doing it. So oh gosh, I would, and this isn't big enough to show you because I would have to get a little bit bigger, especially when it comes to three-dimensional. I will definitely keep that in mind, though. We can actually, hold on. I got an idea. Hold on. I'm live. This is me. I can do what I want. We're trying a little bit of something different. So, yeah, expanding on Inktober. Don't ever forget. Always try to draw something. Draw something a day. Give yourself your discipline and do a drawing a day, because that's the great way of getting yourself started. But let me grab my whiteboard because that's the best way to kind of show you things. Hold on. I'll grab you my whiteboard. Da, 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 da. While I'm doing that, I'll play a little music break. Give me a second while I grab my whiteboard. Let's switch it out, babies. Sounds like I should be doing a magic trick. Hold on. Ta-da! Look what I can do. Okay. Let's get a little bit more serious, shall we? All right. Serious with cartooning. I love it. It's always fun. I got a little time for this. Oh yeah. How do you like my hair? Okay. So as I told you, do you want to know a little bit more about me? Look me up at my website, KimOverholt.com. And as I usually tell people, practice. Lots of practice. Practice makes perfect. Yes. Okay. So let's go back. All right. So I'm gonna show you a little bit about perspective. All right. So perspective is something that I had to practice more because I love doing cartoons and I love comics. I really do. And like I say, I'm working on Luna Sparkles. I've been working on my Inktobers. But Inktober's, they're more like doing cartoons where I want to show you a little bit more three-dimensional stuff. Okay, so we're going to break into a little bit more. Where the heck did I put my... Oh, there they are. All right. My whiteboard markers. And, I try to clean up this place once in a while. You should see. It's like it always looks like a tornado hit it because, if you're an artist like I am, you're always like moving in different. Look! I even have like, what is that doing there? That's my painter knife. I don't need that. Okay, what I'm going to grab. And that's for face painting. We don't need that. I do that too. Yeah, I do all of it. So we're going to grab my black. Well, we'll start with black because it fades eventually. I'm going to have to switch up, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about perspective. Okay, because I guess if you want to start doing things like comic books, and if you want to get more into the Marvel comics and stuff like that, you got to know a little bit more about how to draw in perspective and the human form. Now, I love the human form in all of its beautiful, glorious, muscular wonder. Unfortunately, I'm not really that muscular. But, I know a lot of people who are. Okay. Okay. So, when you start drawing, basically, of course, I never know what my markers are going to do. So, your basic shapes. I'm going to have to change it. This isn't working. That's why I bought more than one, because I always thought, it's not working. Oh, and I got in my eraser. You can't do anything without having a nice eraser to erase stuff with. So let me try this again. So we're going to talk to you about dimensions. All right. And everything. Oh yeah, especially with it being Halloween, let me talk about different dimensions. So yeah, circle, triangle, square. The basic building blocks of drawing. And there's this one here too. It's kind of like that. I call that the fourth dimension, the squiggly line, the something that kind of puts all these together and makes it into something really kind of weird and wonderful. Okay, but okay. So obviously, when you start getting more into dimensional, you can start playing with these shapes and turning them into different things. I've mentioned it on previous ones. You can take the circle and make it a little bit more spherical. You can make it look like it's rounded, make it look like a bubble kind of thing. It's just playing with the idea of making it roundish. Now, if you took a round circle, added a little bit of lines to it, you'd come up with something that would be more a cylinder shape. And when I was in college, we had a painting that we had to do, and it was taking that shape, um, that shape, and of course like a square shape. Just making the shapes though. Just making like it look like a cube. And the thing that we had to do is light. Find out where the light was coming from. So say the light was coming from this direction here. This side would be light and this side would be dark. And so you make it showing, obviously those are the darker sides, that kind of thing, light's coming from this direction. So, but if you change the direction, you have to change the direction. You have to keep all into consideration too. Light's going this way. Maybe a little bit more darker, maybe over here, and maybe a little darker over here, maybe a little darker on top of here. And you have to keep in mind shadow of which way is it going. If it's going that way, so there might be a shadow that goes this way, and a shadow that kind of goes that way. You can make the shadows kind of go into place, and the shadow for this one might go on top of there somewhere. You never know, because it kind of just looking at the way the light goes. So, there's always keeping that in mind. So always keep light in mind while you're doing 3D. Light and shadow. Light and shadow. And shadow. Because shadow can make all the difference too. You might say, oh, sure, it doesn't look completely right. But it's all about, if you really want to be perfect about it, you'd have to actually know where see an actual thing and draw it. And I always say too, drawing from what you see is always good too. I would say a great idea for if you wanted to learn more about doing light and shadow. Take an egg. You put a light on it. And you'll see, like if not the best egg, but if you see that, you shine light on it kind of in that direction, there's going to be like a very dominant circle over here where the light would be coming and all the shadow would be down here. And obviously there would be like a shadow coming down this way. So, and eventually it would look kind of three-dimensional if you kept on drawing it using the shadow and getting darker and stuff like that. Now, three-dimension has shadow and light and stuff like that. So there's an idea for draw an egg, something that you see live, and then that'll make all the difference for that. Okay, so three-dimensional starts with a line. Very straightforward. And of course, the easiest one is the one that you got with the one point perspective, which is like, say, there it is in the distance. There's a dot in the distance. So you make a line that follows. So now you got like a road. So it's like and that was the one that everybody did when you were a kid. The long line on the road, it makes it look like it's a highway or something, and then you can draw like the cars on the street. But now you keep in mind where everything is in proportion. So what's far away from you, like say that there's a circle in the distance over here. And where's the sun? Well, let's say the sun is coming from this direction. Say the sun is over here. So now that you see the sun that's come out and it's shining down on there, you make like a little circle kind of over here. So if there was another circle, say a little bit closer, you would have to make the circle a little bit bigger. So we'll make like the one that's here, for an example. And if the light was shining that way, maybe it's more changing direction, so it's more coming this way.
these come, whereas this is a little bit more closer here, closer there. This one would be like here, and then you'd see maybe a light. The light source would be kind of, if it was a really shiny ball, you'd be able to see the light bang right on the top there, and you could see it from the one of the distance would be as bright, but but kind of just so you to keep in mind where things are to make it look like everything that's close to you is really bright and detailed, and everything that's kind of way in the background is small and less detailed, of course. So sometimes when you go to draw creatures, yeah, when you go to draw creatures, sometimes you keep in mind where everything is proportioned to. Like if you want to see the creature's face, but you don't really care too much about the hands, so the hands kind of get less detail. When you get like you see a close up of a face that's like gnarling at you, you want to make sure that you can see all the gritty details of it. Whereas far away, you don't have to worry about it. You're paying attention to the things that are the closest to you most of the time. And if anything, you can see how things kind of get bigger as you go. Let's see, this one. And there you go. Kind of like that, it's just a matter of playing with it. It's all about practice. It's all about just not just like talking about it. It's doing it too. So with doing Inktober, it keeps me fresh and keeps me doing this all the time. So I enjoy being able to show you guys like, and of course there'd be smaller. So be more like that. Isn't that cool? And it almost looks three-dimensional, like you're going into the distance. Now, when you're drawing people, if there was somebody that was standing here, say, or somebody was standing here. Let's say we'll make a person kind of like standing there. So you'd have to keep in mind like how close they are to you, obviously. And my stick person, you have to keep in mind how close they are to you. And of course, their head will be in a different shape. So if you in reality, you'd be looking at somebody, you'd be looking kind of like a quarter face. You'd be kind of looking at somebody from a side view, or almost like a front kind of down. So that if you think about that, then you kind of keep in mind those lines. So the eyes go here. The nose goes there. The mouth goes there, kind of thing. And now you're looking at the perspective of a person. And like I said, like it takes practice. You gotta kind of like play with it a little bit to get better at it. Obviously, if you really want to do the perspective, and then like again, you erase all the lines that aren't pertinent, and you have a face that's started, and you just continue and go for it. And that's how you just kind of and lots of practice drawing. There's also keeping in mind perspective. There's also keeping in mind shapes of people and how people of the structure. There's so much to take in. It's all a matter of if you want to do it, you're going to do it. If you want to do the practice, you're going to do the practice. If you want to get good, you're going to get good. And I'm always getting better all the time. I'm trying to get better. And I'm glad that you're here to kind of keep me in line, so I appreciate it. Yes, like the dark side of the moon. That's right. Yeah, well, and it's kind of an interesting thing to do. So I say go and try drawing anything, just draw your favorite cartoon, draw your favorite um, uh, draw your favorite coffee cup. Yeah, just start with making that into a little cartoon. Get to know the dimensions, get to know where the light's coming from and light perspective. These things all make a difference when you want to take it seriously, for sure. And I try not to keep it too serious, and I try to keep it as light as possible. And I so appreciate you guys being here. So thank you for tuning in to Cartooning Monday. And I've got some water here. So cheers. Yeah, I need a drink now. I talked way too much. So yeah, Halloween's on its way, and I hope you have fun. And I hope you have a safe Halloween. If I don't tell you by the time Halloween comes, yeah, have a good one. I'm excited about Halloween. I never know what I'm going to be doing. If I'm going to hand out candy, if I'm not going to hand out candy, I don't know. My place. If you look at my place, you'd be like, wow, you wouldn't have to do a thing to it. It already looks like it's haunted. Yeah, thanks. And then, when you're house poor and you're just trying to do the best you can with what you got, this is what it comes down to. And in the meantime, we all do the best that we can. So today was Cartooning Monday, and like I say, it was Inktober, showing you a little bit of Inktober, getting you going with a little bit of three-dimensional stuff. Yeah. Oh, very cool. Yeah, very cool. All right, so you know how much fun perspective can be. I did a quick little one in college, and I had the hardest time with it. I really some of the things that I wanted it to look right. All of a sudden, as soon as you move your seating, you moved your dimension or your way you were looking at it, and then everything changed. And I'm like, oh, it can be very daunting. Yeah, so I just I appreciate that. So yeah, thank you for letting me know. Oh, very cool. That's neat. That's very, very cool, Gary. I appreciate you telling me that too. Yeah. So I I have a couple friends that actually went to George Brown, and that's awesome for illustration. Yeah. So you obviously know. That's good. I'm glad that you know a little bit. I hope that I'm helping a little bit. I know if you know already, you're probably like, okay, Kim, right? Oh. Right. Okay. Yes. Hand was in the foreground. I had this really cool picture when I was young, and I had 3D glasses. The ones that one was like the green color, and one was the red color, and it was a picture of a werewolf. And when you looked at it, it looked really weird because you saw the red color and the green color kind of interacting strangely on the sheet. But as soon as you put the glasses on, you saw the hand coming like right at you, and it was like, oh my gosh, it looked like the uh, werewolf was going to come like right out of the. It scared me a little bit actually. I was like, thank God it's like a picture, because if it was real, I'd be like, ah, crap. But it's cool when you can do stuff like that. And yeah, I have lots of books on that too. I keep lots of. Maybe I'll start getting into more of that kind of thing. Maybe I'll get more into, like, we'll do figure drawing and things like that to kind of do perspective and that, because I love that kind of stuff too. And I need to get my Luna Sparkles get going with some character street sheets and stuff like that. So we'll do it with cartoony looking creatures, and we'll do it with real creatures so that we can kind of know what the difference is when you play around, right, too. So yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys coming in and checking it out today too for Cartooning Monday. Money. Money, something I never have. Oh, that's good. It is really good to have somebody helping you out. If you know an artist, or if you don't know an artist, contact me, but I'm your artist. But if you know an artist and you want some help, ask them a few questions, see where they're at in their art, and see if they can help you. Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, that's the only way to do it, is just to get the information you need to put you in the right direction. Yeah. Yeah, maybe Enzo could probably help me with a few things that I'm probably still not sure of. So you know what? And getting through the animation is not an easy thing to do. And I wish I would have been able to get through the rest of that. But I'm glad for what I do know. And I'm glad that, eventually maybe it'll point me in the right direction. I'm never giving up hope that maybe one day I'll do my animation and be better than Walt Disney. You know what? Because Walt Disney doesn't do it for me anymore. Not like it used to. We got to do our own thing. We got to be our own studio, and maybe get people interested in that kind of thing. What do you think? Anyways, I won't keep you because I know I have a long day, and you got a long day too. And I appreciate you being here. Yeah. Okay. So today's Cartoon Monday. So Tune in tomorrow. Of course, it's Magic Tuesday. I'll give you a card reading. We'll talk a little bit about art and magic that way too. The magic of art and perspective, which really makes things look three-dimensional, right? There you go. So I can maybe bring it up again tomorrow. Wednesday is Wellness Wednesday. We talk about art again there, how art can help you feel good about yourself. Which I think if you're doing it, you probably know. Probably feel great. I feel great when I do it. It puts me in that one frame of mind where I'm like, okay, yeah. And of course, Thursday, I get to be him for you, Entertainment Thursday, Feedback Friday. I want to hear back from you. And I appreciate anybody who wants to interact with me. This is wonderful. I'm so happy. And I hope I'm doing a good job for you guys because I love doing this. And when you feel better about what you can do, I feel better about what I can do to help you too. So that makes me feel good. And in the meantime, my fellow babies, like I say, I'm a one woman show here. I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope you get out there and draw. I hope that you're doing Inktober too. We're wrapping it up and we're getting it done. And I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you, Gary. And thank you all you guys that pay attention afterwards and say, hey, you know what? I could tell her a few things too that might help. You know, I appreciate you guys more than you realize. So come back often. And because there's always new things I got to talk to you about anyway. So, and in the meantime, as I always say, be so brother a little bit at it, as my mom used to say. Because she also used to say, sometimes you just don't know what to do, right? I mean, there's times you're like, oh, okay. But anyways, I hope you have a fantastic day. And you know me and Brad Pitt, we're like this. This is me over here. He's such a great guy. I don't know. Anyways, and you guys are great too, and I'm glad I know you. I hope you have a fantastic day, and thanks for tuning in. And come back often. I mean, I try to be funny, at least for myself. I'm funny smelling, anyways. Thank God there isn't smell-o-vision. You'd be in real trouble, right? Oh my.